Right before we start, here's the usual list of triggers that may be shown in this game. If any of these do bother you, please turn back around. But if you wish to continue, then here you are. Alright, start playing. I don't know what's gonna happen anymore, you know? Alright. Hold on. Relationships. Alright, so Luke and I got a better relationship, I guess, with Hannah. Wait, how is this post? I forgot. Okay. Alright. Up. Higher, come on now. This place is bustling with movers, carrying furnishings here and there, along with separate chunks of personal belongings taken from our penthouse. Luke watches them like a hawk, making sure nothing is handled carelessly or gets stolen. Careful now. I know your picture frames are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by an African blackwood and one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings. Each one is worth a lifetime of what you will make. Do the dishwashers go in the kitchen or the butler's pantry? Pantry, Buttercup. Careful, that's my hut. No, you don't put it. You put that down. Do not handle Napoleon. What? Okay, I don't know what that word is, but okay. I can see the exasperation, and I have to send the foreman an apology glance. Even Jonah Hannah's rolls his eyes as he goes by. Considering Luke is always like this during a project, Johannes and I have to get used to it. Poor Marianne, on the other hand, looks stressed at seeing the gigantic mess before quickly going back to work. Everything just has to be perfect, exactly the way he wants it. One little thing out of place, one little thing that doesn't fit the image he clearly constructed in his head, and Luke gets bent out of shape. Sweetie, why don't we go sort your suits upstairs? Let Johannes, Marianne, and the foreman deal with the rest of the work. We have this, mister, right? Yes, please do. Please do go before your blood vessels burst. Bloodstains are so troublesome to clean. Yeah, I like this guy. Taking him by the hand, I lead him upstairs to our bedroom. Ooh, this is a nice room. It even has a balcony. I don't think I could live in it though. It's too big. This place has been arranged first so we can get some rest no matter what state the rest of the mansion is in. I'm definitely glad I can lie down on a soft comfy bed after what has been a busy morning. Watching Luke act like his life depended on getting this move done is tiring on its own. To think we have the whole day ahead of me. I feel the bed dip beside me as Luke sits down to sigh. Well, I can't wait for this to be over. I don't know, it's fun, seeing you all fired up. You're at home and not at work, you know? You know I can't always be at home, Hannah. I have company to run, unless you've forgotten. I haven't forgotten. You're the one who insists on being there to make sure each and every little thing is under control. I really miss you sometimes, and I wish you were at home more often. Why, if you're not careful, I might go loopy and start bringing cats home. And soon enough, one day you'll find yourself going home to a farm filled with felines that show you everywhere, follow you everywhere. Oh God. Oh, don't bluff. The things would shred up your precious furniture. Besides, you don't even like cats. True. Dogs are infinitely superior, of course. I kind of like cats better, but dogs are nice too. But what about what dogs smell? The mess. I'm not cleaning up after a mutt, no matter how cute. If you think about it, a cat would be better. We laugh. It's not always that we can just sit down and talk about these sorts of things. To joke around as if we're teenagers again with very little problem in our way of responsibilities and roles. To hear his genuine, honest to goodness laughter is a rarity. This is just the second time as of late, and I can only see it as a sign of good things to come. All good points. I guess we could have kids. That is, if you prefer dealing with soiled nappies and sick as opposed to dead birds, mice, and litter boxes. I already told Marianne about about turning the second bedroom into a children's room. I guess sometimes I don't know when I'm crossing the line. I didn't say I'm a good comedian, did I? Not this again. What? I wasn't being serious. It's not something you can take the piss out of. Having a kid is a big responsibility, Hannah. We've talked about this, haven't we? I'm not ready to be a parent. I'd probably end up killing the little brat by the week's end. Oh, that's sad. I kind of feel bad for the guy now. Yeah. Kylie likes you well enough. The mention of our goddaughter placed a conflicted look on his face. Sometimes it's cute when he denies having a soft spot for the little girl. But then sometimes it's sad and makes me wonder what happened to make him think so poorly of himself in this regard. Yes, well, it's Kylie. The tyke likes everyone, and on the off chance she doesn't like them well enough as long as they buy her sweets. And sure, that kid is great, but if I get tired of her, I can ship her back to her father at the end of the day. Having kids of our own will be a different monster entirely. I haven't heard him talk about his father in anything but business context. I recall Damien Wright. He kept hearing about him from his own father, even before I met Luke. The business world praised him for running a tight ship, all until one mistake led him to great loss for the enterprise. Then it was news that Luke, prodigy's son and successor to the old man, started to show up, and he aided in his recovery and growth until the Great Recession. I'm getting a bit off track. Regardless, I've never heard him talk about his father like one would talk about a family. I think he'll be a great father. There's a smile, no matter how half-hearted it may be. I really do think that. He might not be a good, honest man. Parts of me knows that, though I try to silence it. But I know Luke well enough that he would be a great father, be a better father than either Damien Wright or Henry Evans. I love my father, but he never had the time. If there's any consolation, I think he'd be a decent mother. On the other hand, I've never heard of his mother. Silence settles, both comfortable and uncomfortable. There's a familiarity in each other's company despite the awkwardness that's transpired. Defenses masked down without anybody else looking. We're both together and alone in this quiet. Well, that ruined it. We crash downstairs draws us from our reverie. Luke steps out of sight before coming up to his feet and straightening out his jacket. I have to go attend to that then. Be good, darling. And watch out for your blood pressure. He gives me a kiss on the cheek before leaving, while I lay there in a daze. Alright, I want to see how the relationship changed first. Yay, it went up! Okay, so I said the right thing. Thank God. I just want to have a good relationship with everybody. I don't know if that's too much to ask. It probably is. I'm probably going to have a shitty relationship with at least one person. Alone as per usual. I really should be used to it by now. I can feel the minutes tick by with me just laying there, feeling miserable and full of self-pity. I've rolled over to lie on my stomach at this point, with my face buried in the pillows, when there's a knock at the door. Grumbling at them to go away doesn't work as my voice doesn't come out from the other side. Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here. Wait, is that today? Oh yes. People have caught wind of our new mansion at the very moment we left the open house. Luke had boasted he could acquire the property in no time, and allowed a photo shoot for the interior design of the magazine to be scheduled today. Wait, isn't that where Zach works? Please don't let us have another screw up with him. I mean, seriously, Luke, you can't say that kind of stuff, man. Well, there are complications, and it took longer than it usually does for us. In a minute, Johannes, and if you could at least make it through at the end. Tell them you're down, Hansy. The mansion grounds has been one of the first things to be fixed aside from the bedroom. Although it's still work in progress, it has a promising start, and I can already see the flowers patches. Luke's favorite daffodils stand out easily, and I've been transplanted from the pots that used to litter the rooftop of our penthouse. Right, the moving crew thought Luke was having being hard on them, he clearly didn't see the landscape on his way out. Poor dude. The man looked ready to faint, and Luke seemed ready to kill him by the end of the discussion. Oh, it is Zach. I'm so sad. Oh, please don't let this go bad. It is in the art gardens that I see him, standing near the flowers in pride and admiration. He's hard to miss, the Hulk man that clearly does not belong, and the big backpack and suitcase he has with him makes it look much larger. It's peculiar seeing someone who looks like he does handling little delicate things with such care. He looks from the gardens and does a double take before a friendly face replaces his serene expression. Miss Wright, yeah? I'm Zach Steele, here from For Luxury Livings, ma'am. Hope you weren't waiting too long. But it looks like you're still moving in, huh? Thought for a sec that my calendar was wrong when I came here too early. You look familiar. Have you met? I have a very wide social circle, so everyone looks familiar at one point or another. But one would think I'd remember someone who stands out like him. The struggle to recall must have been evident on my face as he quickly and kindly answered my question. I was with Isabella, your estate agent, when she had the house blessed? Oh yes, that's right. Small world, isn't it? Should have known you were Mrs. Wright. The one and only. Welcome to Maison de Wright. I think I said that right. I haven't said French words in so long. And yes, we've been in the process of moving in as we were delayed, but it won't be a problem. They're just adding a few things here and there, but you should be able to do your work. Where's the rest of your crew, Mr. Steele? Zachary is fine, please. Mr. Steele makes me feel like I'm a mascot of a cleaning product. Yeah, true. Anyway, I'll be your one-man crew for today, don't worry. I've been doing this gig for a while now. You must be quite a veteran to handle this on your own. We've had a full crew coming to our penthouse last time we were covering your magazine. Veteran? Your words are too kind, Miss Wright. Hannah. If I get to call you Zach, you have my permission to call me Hannah. Alrighty then. Anyway, I'm no veteran, but I know my camera well enough to make sure that it's a good shoot. You can trust me on the Mrs. Wright, Hannah. I got an achievement for something, but okay. Zachary moves quickly enough that I can, in fact, trust him. His skills with the camera and experience in this industry, at the very least. He's kind and courteous, listening and following as a leader and run the house. A really nice fellow, he treats our household staff well whenever we cross paths with them. I answer his questions to the best of my ability, and he's patient enough to answer mine whenever I get curious enough. When I ask what the bags are for, they're quite the magician's toolkit. From his side, he procures several items to embellish the interior with. Bowls of fruit, lemons, trays with peppermills, stacks of cookbooks, cutting boards, and glass canisters filled with a couple of nuts and grains are brought into the kitchen setting. For the bathroom, there are white towels, seashells, and decorative soaps. There are other things as well, too numerous to count in that large backpack and suitcase. Tricks of trade, softens up the room, makes it feel more homey, fills with texture. But you guys probably have better stuff I can use for this. No lights? Don't tell me these are just props. Well, I got my tripod here for things like natural lighting is best. For things like this, night lighting is best. I'll just have to set the shutter speed to get it real slow setting, and as long as nobody steps in the chute, it'll look great. Oh, it's better. We go through the rooms one at a time, although we first tackled the ones the movers have no business in anymore. Whoa, that's big. That's a nice ballroom. The ballroom needs a little preparation with its grand design. Although there is some trouble at first with the wide open space and pictures being backlit. In the kitchen, Zachary props come in handy, considering how Johanna's kept the place so neat and sterile. We can practically eat off the floor. We carry on, touring the house and taking pictures where we can, with a section to the rooms which have yet to gain purpose or design. Too bad I can't take a peek at the photos yet. Funnily enough, he's using a traditional camera. I didn't even know film still existed. With the way he speaks, however, I can see that he knows enough about his craft that I'm not too worried about the botched photographs. I imagine photography must be cathartic for him. I think that's how you say it. Judging by how at ease he looks while he's taking pictures. There are small snippets of conversation in between the clicking of the camera. He even goes as far to talk about terminologies like shutter speed and aperture when I ask about technical aspects. I can't quite see the pictures as it's made, much like when I watch artists paint on the canvas. But just watching someone passionately practice their craft such as this is exciting on its own way. Going through the many rooms has been quite an exercise for both of us. Despite that, he's been nice, and I find myself putting on my best smile. But as we were taking pictures of the foyer, then everything comes to standstill for a moment. Just a moment. And had I not been paying attention, I wouldn't have even noticed. It's maybe a second, but Zachary's rhythm is put to a halt. Oh, fuck. Well, that's not freaky at all. And they both notice it, that's fun. His fingers doesn't move from the shutter. Yet he also doesn't pull the camera away from his face. Gaze firmly fixed through the viewfinder. His hands shake and there's a light sheen of sweat on his forehead. Zachary? No response. Zach, is something the matter? Lowering his camera, he blinks and stares at the thing behind me before shaking his head. Turning around though, I see nothing that could have gotten his attention. Oh, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something is all. That's all. Let's get back to the pictures. Could you move a bit more to the left? Yeah. I struggled to respond this time. There's a sudden weight on my back and an indescribable tightness around my throat. Yeah, probably the lady that was standing behind you and everything. Yeah. Everything stops. And everything starts again as I manage to choke out. If you're short. I don't know what happened. It was probably a dizzy spell. I'm fine. And he said he's fine. We continue the same pace as before, although there's an unspoken agreement that we will not talk about what happened. So this is a full-time job for you then? Nah, I'm freelance mostly. For magazines, newspapers, and events, so you can't really call it a full-time job. It's fun to put food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do. At least not all the time. What does he want to do then? Maybe I went out of line sticking my nose in other people's business, but I can't help but ask. I regret doing so as I see his shoulders slump and the easygoing air he has fades away. He looks torn about whether he should talk about it or not. Films, documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on this thing actually. What thing? Well, it wasn't really a big thing. People don't like Blue Fonse much. People didn't like film about colors? No. I suppose they would have liked Blue Bebe a lot more. Very funny. So, Grand Director, do you want to tell me what Blue Fonse is about? He hesitates. But when I refuse to budge on the matter, he gives in and spills it all out. Okay, I don't think I can say all that, but let's go for it. Blue Fonse, l'air la plus sombre des noirs britanniques. Maybe I got that right, but I don't really know the translation at all. So, whatever. Oh, it translated, okay. Dark blue, the darkest hour of the Black British. He speaks with passion of one who has gone through the very matter he's concerned with. There's conviction, knowledge, and experience in his speech. Why, I would have told him that he is an amazing speaker if I wasn't so engrossed in listening. Prejudice, discrimination, in schools and the workplace. Lesser chances for opportunity and higher chances of being treated like a criminal. He spoke of blacks and people of color in general, still being treated like second-class citizens. All because of the color of their skin. It is all positively riveting and sad. It comes to a point where he loses his steam. He looks abashed, realizing what he has probably done. Sorry, I just got carried away again. It's fine. It's really so fascinating to watch people talk about the passion after all. You should see how your eyes light up when you speak so fiercely. You do have very beautiful eyes. Thanks, I guess. I want to say something that I understand where he's coming from, but I really don't, do I? I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I've lived a charmed life. It hasn't been perfect, but the difficulties I've been through pales in comparison to what others experience on a daily basis. I certainly don't know how I would have fared in a different situation. Would I have still met Luke, and would he still have loved me, if any lesser? What was your home like? These things that you talk about, it sounds like you're, well, I don't mean to pry. I don't mean to pry. Lived with my older sister and my grandparents. We had a shop selling all sorts of things below our flat. Well, I was one of the few non-white, non-British students in class, and I didn't get pushed around or anything straight up. Even then, I was one of the biggest kids around. But a pencil or a notebook would go missing, you know. Oh, that I knew. It treated me so cruel at times. Of course, it may be a slightly different story when you have personal guards and the stolen items. It's not a pencil, but an expensive heirloom. So what about you? Are you liking your new house? It's pretty impressive. It's nice, I suppose. You suppose? Not big enough? But no. Oh, don't be a bully. It's just that I understand if you don't want to talk about it. I was a little girl, all dolled up to be treated like a fragile porcelain with nursemaids waiting on me hand and foot. All the material possessions anyone could ever want, I could ask for on a whim, and it would be handed to me just like that. But I barely saw my parents. Just goodbye kisses in the morning before they went off to who knows where they were needed next. I saw them more often on the telly or in the papers than I ever did in person. I remember my old house. It was a lot like this one. Big walls, big halls, but nobody in it really. It makes you think how alone you are. A pensive mood comes over us. And there's a moment where neither of us are sure how to go on from there. Things have gotten too personal, yet it isn't wholly uncomfortable. Like as if we've been friends before. Well, that's normal, isn't it? You just moved here. You'll make a home out of it yet. He certainly makes it easy to believe that. God, Zach is such a damn sweetheart. I love him so much. God. My childhood house is indeed a lot like this one. Just as large and extravagant. And just as empty. I hope he's right. So, Monsieur Le Photographe, you've covered the one and only Emmergard mansion. What's next on the agenda? The interview? Boring. It's an interior design in a housing magazine. And they want to know what Miss Wright has to say about her interior design and house. Madame Wright thinks she bought a magnificent house that she can certainly brag about. Blah blah blah, boring. You know what there's to print more of? I watched an interesting documentary the other day. Blue Francais, the darkest hours of the Black British. I recommend you watch it. Those are things that people should know about. What do they care if I use purple or green bowl of fruit in my kitchen? People, right? People are shite. What do you think? Do I look good in this angle? I can't. It's hard to imagine her saying any kind of curses. She just is so proper. I started to pose while I was busy, looking taken aback for a moment. Probably not expecting me. Yeah. Probably not expecting me to go and say such a crass word. But he recovers quickly, and after snapping a few shots, he grins. Oi, so much French. Yeah, buoyed spell. That I know. That's literally the only French thing in this entire thing besides we that I've understood. You want copies of these ones? Yes, please. So the big boy knows French. He must have wooed a few ladies, unless you're into gents. Either way, French is, after all, the language of romance. Oh, I don't go about quoting fancy poetry, but I believe I made lunch for a girl before, and they did like that fancy French cuisine. I don't think I can say this one at all. Can you cook bouillabaisse, base, or some? I don't know. I really don't even know what kind of food that is either. I cook just about anything as long as I know the recipe. Stay magnifique. It has been too long since I've had a nice and proper chat with a good friend. No, Lee is not a good friend. And although we just met, Zachary is a sort who can probably befriend anyone. He's just a comfortable person to be around with. A bit too comfortable. The photo shoot went by a breeze. And somewhere along the way, we talked and laughed, and I found myself getting a bit too close without realizing. He'll give me this strange look until I back off, and he'll go back to asking questions after I agree to his interview. And it's just odd. Well, no. Me being friendly isn't odd. That's how I am. Zachary is the one that's being odd. Why, anyone else would probably welcome the extra attention I give them. He, on the other hand, looks almost flustered about it. He should be used to different personalities by now, having to deal with various people he works with. And if not, he needs to start. Perhaps nobody has shown him attention of this kind, but he is a big boy. He should be able to handle it. All it is friendly touch here or there, pretty smile, and a gentle sway of my hips as I move around. Zachary grew and grew more red every time he noticed. Poor Zach. Am I being a bit mean as I find enjoyment out of seeing him unravel? A little, but yeah, okay, whatever. Perhaps. This went on during the interview and beyond that. There's nothing wrong with what we're doing, right? Zachary and I are having playful, friendly chat while enjoying the outside view. At least that's how I see it. I'm sorry, but I'm really getting distracted. Could you maybe stop doing that? Stop? I don't know what I should say. I'm not sure if I want to, though. Yeah, okay. Try for good relationship. Alright, let's see if that worked. It did! Oh, thank you. I like Zach. I don't want to have a bad relationship with him. I'll stop if it makes you uncomfortable, sweetie. Sorry. No, I should be the one apologizing. Why, you're a shy one, aren't you, big guy? It's not that, but... He gestures to the ring of my finger and lets the matter hang heavily between us. Being told explicitly that I'm too forward is not an uncommon occurrence. I think I'm more stunned at the fact that you pointed it out rather than, well, being rejected. Not that anything is going to happen between us in the first place. It was just going to be some hardest flirting, right? So, you never had a girlfriend? No. Really? But you're such a sweetheart! No boyfriend either, you know, just in case you were going to ask for that one next. And you haven't had your first kiss? Not one, ma'am. Do you want to have your first kiss today? I can't help it. I really, really can't, and I'm going to apologize later. Surely a little catty smile on my face. It's obvious that I'm just pulling his leg. The laugh I feel to contain certainly gives it away, if it still isn't obvious. But still, he lightens up in embarrassment, stammering and sputtering objections. You're married. This would be extremely unprofessional. Shit, I can't do it. I never said I would kiss you, silly. Oh, Johannes. What? No. Don't call your butler. She's Hannah. That would be for the better. I don't think his husband would appreciate it if I made him kiss another man. I do not think he can hear us from here either. But it is hard to think you're not taken, Zachary. Why, whoever becomes your girlfriend would be so lucky to have you. You can cook and take wonderful photographs, wonderful meals, and wonderful memories. I can play the guitar too. Man, I'm loving this guy more and more. No. You can? Oh my, wonderful serenades as well then. Perhaps I can find a young lady who deserves a fine, strapping young gentleman like yourself. Let's not get carried away. Besides, I gotta get going. It's getting late and I got someplace else to be. A shame. I'll be expecting you again sometime soon, I hope, for a copy of my photographs, yes? Of course, I'll even deliver them personally. Just, don't try to make me kiss your butler when I stop by. As fate would have it, the very moment the words leave his mouth, Johannes comes out of the house. Judging by the slight raise of his brow, he heard only the tail end of the sentence. There shall be no kissing of any brothers under this roof. But you're not under a roof, are you, Hansy? To my music, he takes a step back, placing himself within the threshold of the foyer and under the roof of the house. And just as ever, he's quick to turn back to his sardonic reply. I am now. As I was saying, madam, it is about time for supper. Will we need an extra set of plates at the table? Oh, what? No, I was just leaving, actually. So you have good night, Anna. And you too, Hansy. It was nice to meet you, Zach, honey. Have a safe trip. He nods, and the grin on his face as we say our goodbyes is the sweetest thing I've ever seen. I linger, looking out for him with his relatively tiny bicycle, backpack safely secure in the basket in front, and a suitcase hooked to the back. I watched as he went down the path to Ansem village until he's nothing more than a blip in the horizon. I cannot help the small smile on my face as I go in for supper. That was interesting as hell. That was kind of funny as hell too. Alright, I'm taking a break for a few minutes because yeah.